Awesome.
Sorry, guys, we got talking off stage behind in the green room, but we are here about it's never too late. See, it's never too late to even go live. And of course, Rick's already jumped in. So if you are joining us, wherever you are in the world, good day, happy Thursday, good morning, have a sparkling day. But we're talking about why you can start. Age is not a factor, anything can be possible. And I'm joined by the beautiful Ronald, who is a little superstar in my eyes.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you, Liz, and hello, everyone. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. I'm on the Liz Jones show, and how cool can that be? And hello, Rick. Like you said, you'd be here, so thank you.
See, oh, yeah, we're streaming. I always double check as well. So while you're just talking there, double check it streams too, because sometimes it likes to give me technical things. But frankly, you're fabulous because I'm going to let you tell exactly what happened because it wasn't until you retired that you really put yourself first, was it?
When I retired, I had to put myself first, but to say retired is probably the proper word. But to be honest, I burned out. I could no longer function in the capacity that was my normal
Hmm.
routine of servicing customers. I just blanked out. So I gave my manager at the time 2 weeks notice, and
Hmm.
despite the fact they asked me to work an additional 2 weeks, I couldn't do it. So what happened is that I left the job abruptly, and then I found other things to do because I was used to being a busy person.
Yep.
And eventually they fell away, the activities. I could no longer do that. I lost interest. And then I realized that my life was consumed with work and activity.
Hmm.
This business of looking at you on LinkedIn and all the things you talked about, the mind and the body, and wow, that's exciting. But still, it hadn't reached home until maybe a year later.
And that's quite common because you obviously said about obviously burnout, but as you're getting older, we push through so much. And when we're younger, did you ever feel this way? So when you're younger, you think it's fine, I can do it later, I can work harder now.
I can keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And really, I was pushing it more than what I should have because when other people found time to go home, I was still there doing it. I had a job that I could work extended hours for my customers,
Mm.
but my family life and such wasn't the highest priority.
And how did that show up? How did that show in your life? What was going on so it made you realize enough is enough?
When the blinders came off and I found myself saying no to some things quickly, people were used to me responding and doing projects for them.
Mm.
And then it occurred to me, wait a minute, that's going to impact my life. Really? And I began to sum it all up. And I said, wait a minute, I found out that I was just too available and too giving and being task oriented, not really taking time out to enjoy the quality of life. My wife had asked me several times, oh, over the years, more than that, about actually enjoying life, but work consumed me. But it wasn't just work, it was activity. And
Mm.
then after a while, I began to look around and I said, what is all this stuff? I said, these are projects that I had begun and hadn't completed. These are books I haven't read. And I said, these things that I'm looking at are indications of me and interests that I've had at one time. I mean, I was actually going in so many different directions.
Hmm.
And what I explained to people is that now that I'm no longer working, there's so many people fighting to drive the bus. That's my phrase, is that in my head, there's so many people trying to drive the bus. Or maybe in another form of expressing it, I would say that everybody in the orchestra is playing their own tune and no one's listening to the conductor.
Yeah.
And I'm the conductor. I had become so multi talented and so multi involved that I didn't have a core. I
Hmm.
had no core. I had overextended myself in so many different directions.
Hmm.
I needed more time to meditate, more time to relax, and more time to learn the people around me and listen to them, see them. The phrase that I say is, I'm surrounded by familiar strangers.
You know what that reminds me of? The saying how we're good at everything but master of none. We try
Yes,
and take
dear,
everything on.
that is so true. Good at everything, master of none, and then wanting to master something for the sake of saying,
Mhm.
yes, I'm good at something. I have value. I mean, even if it's making things out of popsicle sticks, it's like, look at my beautiful projects I've made out of popsicle sticks and I've covered them with magic markers. Look at them. Look, look, look. Say, wait a minute, bud. You need to chill.
So do you think you kept on working to the point of burnout because you wanted to feel good at something? You spread yourself so thinly that you didn't feel you could give enough.
I didn't know how to value the many dimensions of life, the mind and the soul, the body, the emotions, all that sort of thing. I was the kind of guy, and I hate to say it, but I was the kind of guy that I heard say was that
Hmm.
I'm great with customers, but not so good with people. I've heard someone say that, and I realized that was that I was so involved in working that I didn't recognize some customers after I left. I was so focused on the machines. But
Hmm.
what happened though when things began to change? When I got on LinkedIn and I got to meet so many wonderful people, including you and many people I learned to interface with, their various topics, but also their personalities and their delivery. I said, there's a whole new world out here, and they really care. I mean, these people really care. So I got involved in some other interactive activities on Zoom. I attend a business group, and they're helping me to understand entrepreneurship. But I also signed on to Thane Isaac's Leaders Building Leaders and
Hmm.
also the Innovation Book Club. That allowed me to meet regularly with people and to have conversations to learn and to grow and develop ourselves. And it also gave me communication skills. And then also, too, of course, the regular meetings with Rashad Ahmed with the Zen group. He was able to interface with me, explain some things to me personally. The things that I used to hide in, he could ask, who are you apart from all these things?
Hmm.
Who are you apart from your activities, your identity, your affiliations? And that caused me to question myself even deeper. So I recently went on a retreat this past week with the executive retreat given by Thane and his group. And I went to North Carolina and I went to the water. I went to the shore, the Atlantic Ocean. I haven't been to the ocean, and if I have, I've forgotten. But I went there and had some epiphanies. I enjoyed being there with the group that attended the presentations that he and Scott Lisak gave. It was fabulous. I really, really enjoyed it. And I got to see things that my wife had been telling me about for years that she wanted to experience. And finally, I saw it. This
That's
was right
amazing.
away. Go ahead, dear.
I say, well, one Rashad is listening to us. He's raving in the comments. I can see him popping up. But it sounds like that's kind of, although it's something so simple that we say push aside and don't um, think about, but just going to the seaside, just doing something that's kind of every day. The fact you pushed that out the way of your life, I bet it feels like you've just started living again.
I started living again for the first time. It
There's
began, yes. I mean, the mind, body, the spirit, the connection, the intuition, looking up at the sky. I felt divine intelligence. I felt connected for the first time, really connected. I felt like, I just felt like someone was speaking to me. And I got in the water. I stepped away and I sat down in the water, my clothes and all that. The water rushed over my waist and up on my shirt, and I felt connected. I felt like there was some kind of transformation thing going on. And these people were helping to provide that for me. I would say, yes, you and Rashad and Celine were helping to prepare me to just enjoy the 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 expanse of life and feeling a part of the universe. I mean, crazy stuff, but welcome. So needed to feel like my matter matters, my energy matters, and the energy I receive from around me matters. I don't feel disconnected anymore. So focus on what I was doing.
Mm.
I just feel like there's a whole world around me. And boy, did I need it. It was an epiphany. There was this thing about Werner Heisenberg with the uncertainty principle, quantum physics, and that fun stuff. He said he went to this island, Heligoland, Heligoland. He went to this island, and then he was able to grasp these concepts of the uncertainty principle. Well, I felt that retreat had great benefit for me. Now, Thane asked me, what are you going to do with what you learned here? How are you going to apply it? Well, after I left, a man's number was sent to me to get in touch with him, to talk with him. And I did. And I was able to share some things with him. And he sent me a text message this morning, which is an abrupt turnaround from the funk that he was in. And I says, yes, that matters. I would, well, I don't have, I have a book that says that we get so immersed in
Mm.
our work that we lose sense of our feelings. We lose, we go from being a human being to a human doing.
Mm.
And I'm on a platform where I can discuss this with others. I told you I was in a 12-step program. But we've learned that we have just gotten so apart from our mind and body, there's a disconnect. It's almost like you could go up to someone and hit them with a hammer on their foot, and you got to tell them that you did, that they're so focused on what they're doing.
So, if you could give one bit of advice to somebody, whether they're in their 30s, 40s, or any age, what would it be?
I would say prepare for your future. Don't be so preoccupied that you do not take time out for yourself and make plans for your life after you retire, whenever that may be. Make plans and learn to, well, to meditate, to be with people, to talk, to take time to get out and enjoy nature. Never too old, never too late. There's several books I've read. One by Julia Champion about it's never too late to start again. You can begin again. Learn from any failures you might have had and help others that are still struggling through. Help them along the journey. There's so many people on LinkedIn that are helping me. They're reaching out, willing to help. Accept their help. Get
I think
out.
that says it all. Because often people wait for the brick wall moment. So that, oh shit, when everything goes completely wrong, they lose everything before they actually turn things around, their life around. Obviously.
Yes, but it's not too late. It's not too late. I talk with guys in their 70s and their 80s and such, and I have a friend who's 87. I'm in contact with her, and we're looking to see just what can we give to the world with our age, our experience, our wisdom, things we've learned, even if it's just a call to someone or a text to let them know that they're not alone. Feel free to do that. send some of these little funny pictures that we see all the time on the
You may
web and just brighten up somebody's day some way or another. I'm learning how to do voiceovers and learning how to do narrations and such that people that are helping me. There are other activities, art, 3D printing, all sorts of things I'm interested in. I like working with young children and sharing my skills, watching them have experiences. There's a lot. My wife has lost 168 pounds, and she was in her late 60s. And she lost weight, and now she's working with other people, helping them to go plant based. Uh, there are opportunities out here to take advantage of. We don't have to exclude ourselves. Oh boy, there's a whole new life ahead of us, starting now. Take advantage
well,
of it.
we've come to the end of our time. I mean, we could sit here for hours giving because I love your story. I love the fact you took control of your life and were willing to step back and do what you needed to do. So that's amazing. So, guys, if you have been joining us, obviously do reach out to Ronald, connect with him, follow the things he shared. Obviously, his journey is, as you can tell, an ever changing journey. It's exactly that. Always growing every single day, always supporting, always offering love to himself and the world. He's obviously, I'm very proud to know you, Ronald. I'm very proud.
Oh, but she lives, and so am I. I am
So
truly honored and blessed. Thank you.
it is a pleasure. So, guys, if you have listened, stayed with us, thank you so much. If you're watching replay, drop in your thoughts, comments, and questions, and we will catch up with you. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Thank you, Liz.